Here is my example of a back squat. I'm going to talk about the different angles, the spine and how it's supposed to stay in position, hand placement, and all the different joints that go into play with the back squat. First, let's take a look at the squat in full speed. If you notice, I have a very close grip. I use a high bar back squat. And yes, that is Britney Spears playing in the back. At the time when we were actually, at the time when I did this lift, it was a 1 rep max. So let's talk about each position. So as I said before, I use a high bar back squat at the time. My feet are about shoulder width apart. I like to have my knees track over my pinky toes to be in a more of a balanced position with my hips, knees, and ankles. I notice that I can create a tremendous amount more of torque and be able to control the tension under the bar if I'm in that type of position. Now, right before I start to descend into a squat, you can see I'm moving a little bit, and that's to get my pelvis in the correct position. My abs are tight. I'm taking a deep breath in, holding my breath, keeping everything in position. Now, I did not do a correct squat, first downward position squat. So in the first part of the movement phase, my hips should go back. Instead of my knees going forward, my hips should go back so I can sit more. But when I get into the bottom of the squat, I do get into a more of a balanced position. You can see that my body is taking over center of body. I don't want the bar to go too far forward to get over the center mass of my body. So you can see that my weight shifts back into my heels, so I can actually get my glutes involved. Now in this position, or on the downward position, right here, my hamstrings are supposed to be locked in. My back is working. Some muscles that are working for stabilization is my calves, my hip flexors to pull me into a good position, and then also a lot of positioning with the spine comes from the lats and a lot of the adduction muscles to keep my elbows in place. So if my elbows flare all over the place, the bar will go into a bad position. Now on the way out of this position, you can see that my calves are flexing, my quads are doing most of the work, but my glutes are firing. Okay, I'm holding that bar into my back as close as I can. I'm keeping my chin in a good stable position. Now you see here, I get into a little sticky point because my glutes weren't as strong and they weren't in a great position to continue firing. So that's why my knees had to shift forward, use my quads to stand. You can even tell right here when we get close that my heels are not as solid. You can kind of see them coming off the ground, and my knees are coming forward. Now, my finish position mainly is activating my glutes. Core is nice and stable, and I'm in a pretty good position. Recovery phase, walking the bar back in, being able to control the weight in position. So, talking about the activity, on the way down, I go into a dorsiflexion, knee flexion, and hip flexion. My spine wants to stay neutral, if anything, a curvature of an extended position, so my entire abdominal core can be activated and controlled. Going through here, I'm going through extension. The major muscles that I'm trying to use is quads for knee extension, hamstrings for hip extension, and glutes for bringing the hips and the bar all the way up into the finished position, keeping a nice and tight, stable core. And there's my 4 stages of a back squat. To watch it again and to listen to a little bit more of Britney, here we go.
Go up!